Hey everybody, this is an interesting time, but if you watched my last live stream, and look, there's Nala, there's Simba. If you watched my last live stream, during the live stream, I actually found an egg. Nala laid an egg. During the live stream, out of the blue, my reaction is pretty funny. I was going to get Simba out. It was his time to come on and be part of the live stream. And they were both looking at something. I thought it was a urate. It was an egg. Now, I had not seen them ever breeding. They lay together. She lays on him. He lays on her. But the mating act between SAVANNAH monitors can literally take seconds or could take hours. I don't watch them 24/7. Get back, Simba. So I may have to take him out for this. But I found an egg. Now, let me give you some of the behavior that was happening beforehand. She did go off food for 3 days. And she was looking very plump. Hi, good boy. Hi. You're being a good dad, good husband. He's a little bit protective of her, especially when she was laying. I also heard her digging, but she was digging way under there in that corner. And I can't get to seeing that until I go, and looking this way. But I just thought she was being kooky. So I found an egg over there on top of the dirt. Infertile, slightly dimpled. Well, yesterday night, I heard her digging like crazy, and that they dig test nests. I filled in that hole she dug as a test nest. She redug it and dug a hole here. She dug a hole there. She dug a hole here. Well, this morning, for the longest time, she was digging a hole right in this area. She looks a lot thinner. Now, normally, not the first lay. The first lay can be sporadic and at different times. But normally, when they lay, she'll dig her hole, back into it, and then pop out all those eggs and then seal it. SAVANNAH monitor eggs don't incubate hot, 80 to 85 degrees for a handful of months. So they could survive in this dirt because his tank sits between 85 and 90 degrees. It's just a little bit cooler in the dirt. The fear is Simba would smell them, or she would. They'd dig them up and they'd eat them. Or the babies would hatch. The babies would come out and he would eat them because they're going to be slimy and moving around and these little things. Or the eggs are infertile, or something goes wrong and they rot, and then you're digging for rotten eggs. So we're going to go looking for eggs. Now, if you look at Nala, you see some creases appearing, so she's definitely shrunk in size, but she's still, look at this little bloat here. Down there, follow my finger. She's still plump. So we need to investigate all of the areas every day for the next couple days. Now, if we start here, there's an egg. Right there is an egg. I see an egg. It's not urate. It looks like an egg. I'm going to guess it's infertile, but I'm going to pull these steps out. I'm going to dig, and we're going to go over what we find and what to do when you find them. Because I believe, and I haven't looked this up for SAVANNAH monitors, but I know mangrove monitors can use parthenogenesis and can create an egg. What that is when the female only, with only one set of chromosomes, passes a fertile egg. Will have no genes from a male, and sometimes they don't do very well because they don't have a set of chromosomes. So we'll take a look. When she was digging here, Simba was laying here, and awkwardly enough, Simba dug that. Nala was digging there. He was watching her dig, and he wanted to help. And then when she was laying, I couldn't even get close. When I tried to get close to her, he laid here. He would look at me, and he would start huffing. He was on guard duty, and I couldn't film because I didn't want to open these, and she was kicking up all this dust from digging because there's sand under here, sand and then eco-earth, and she was kicking up all this dust, and I couldn't film through the glass, and he didn't want it to be filmed. He was on guard duty. Then when she got done laying, she went up there and laid down, and he went up there and laid down next to her. So he's been on full guard duty. So I'm going to dig around for eggs, and I'll show you what we find. But for sure, this one here is an egg. And guys, it's plump. It's fully plump. So possibility that this is fertile. I'm just going to set what I find up here. Then I'm going to candle them. And we'll see. And if they are, then I'll just put them in some on some perlite, and they don't incubate too hot. And then we'll see what happens. All right, I'm going to dig. Okay, you guys won't believe this. I was digging and digging for eggs. I couldn't find any. Nala moved up here during the digging process, and guys, she is laying her eggs right now as we speak. There is another perfect white egg. Although I'll tell you, there it is, the eggs that I found, 3 eggs so far, have been all infertile, but perfectly sized infertile eggs, which would make sense judging by I never saw them breeding. But this is really good to see that she can carry eggs. She's healthy enough to lay eggs. And all we need is to get Mr. Lazy Simba, to do the deed. It's too late now. He would have had to have done the deed roughly 1 to 2 months ago during the starting process of these eggs. 4 to 6 weeks after the breeding is done, then the eggs come. All right, so just wanted to show you she's here. She's doing good. She's laying eggs. I was going to make her actually a nest box, and I may still, depending on how many eggs she lays, if I pulpate any. And I was going to place it up here, just a Tupperware filled with topsoil, so it's more, can make a nice hole. And I was actually going to build a hole for her, small hole like this for her to crawl in. But it's okay. She can lay right there. It's fine. All right. I'll let you guys know if any of them end up being fertile, because typically, even if they did mate, the first laying, very common to be infertile. All right, guys. And Simba's just asleep on the basking platform. All right, guys. Take care. Hey, everybody. So I've given Nala a lay box because I've collected multiple eggs now, 6 eggs total, and I put it up on the heat mat. It's just a 7-gallon Husky bucket. Dug a hole in it. It's much too small for Simba to squeeze in there, but he could pop his head in there. And just put a simple rock right here that she can use to help get in and out, but she could get in and out without that rock. And I know she's been digging because I had this clean and this clean. And here's somebody's trying to climb up me. But so look at this dirt on the outside. Now let me tell you how I did the lay box. Filled the front up to here with dirt. Okay. In the back, I put a 2x4 on each side and made a T this way with a 2x4 across. That way it's going to guarantee a non-collapsible surface she can dig into and feel that it won't collapse. This is just clean topsoil. No additives, no fertilizer. But it will hold more than, Eco Earth and sand will, so it'll let her feel comfortable that she's built a nice cave. Cool. So she's been in there, she's been digging, and then it's on the heat mat. Just going to keep it a little bit warmer. And yes, Simba won't be happy that his heat mat, he doesn't have as much room, just temporary for a couple days. But then also when she's out of it and I need to look for eggs, I can pull this thing out. It's heavy. It's probably 35 pounds of soil. I can pull it out and dig through. You can see she's in there. There's the 2x4 across the top. And she's dug herself a nice little hole. So again, this is only for this egg laying time. You can see she's exposed the 2x4s on the side. And she can dig this down really deep if she wanted to, because she could kick dirt out like she's doing now, no big deal. So there she is inside the hide box. Hopefully this will motivate her to lay a bunch of eggs. Now, been about just over 24 hours. I think it's been about 30 hours since I found the first egg. And she's been laying eggs every couple hours. I'll find another egg. So she's definitely not plop, 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 plopping them all out. Why is that? Well, one is these are infertile eggs, so they're not as big. They're not taking up as much space. And two, she may have not found an area she felt comfortable in to just plop out all of her eggs. She dug a bunch of test holes, but she may just have not found an area she felt comfortable with to push out all her eggs. So hopefully she'll do this. Normally what would happen is she goes off food, she digs a couple test holes, she finds one she feels comfortable with, then when it's time to lay, she goes back to that, because hopefully she found her test hole early in advance. If not, she finds it just as she's ready to lay, goes in, pushes out all of her eggs, not necessarily instantly, but she'll stay in the nesting area until she knows she's got all of her eggs out, and then she would come out. So this is good because we'll be able to go in there and see, and I can easily take the lid off and look in there without moving the soil and everything. All right, guys. We'll see how this goes. Take care.